Don't worry. They'll be on Zoom, or they'll be on the website. Our groups out there will make up our minion. Okay, why is this not working? Okay, here we go. Please mute yourselves. Good evening, everybody. This is Rabbi Karen, and I want to thank you for joining us on our Tuesday Ma'ariv service. We're here on Facebook, on Sim Shalom, Rabbi Stephen Blaine, JSLI, and UJUC. We're on simshalom.com. We're on YouTube. I think that's about it. But we're all over. You can't miss us. So I want to thank you for beginning our Tuesday Ma'ariv service. Barbara, Shalom, and an Erev Tov. We have friends all over. So thank you for being here. Let's get our screen started as we begin our service. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant when we dwell together in unity. And now our call to praise. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai to whom our praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai to whom praise is due, now and forever. Okay, technology is now working. And when I think of separating light from dark and dark from light, I think of Adonai creating the miracle of actually seeing the sunrise and the sunset. We know this is Adonai's miracle to us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, bechokma potech sharim, uvitvuna mishane tim, umachaliv et hazmanim, umsader kol chavim, b'mishmoroteim barakia kirsono. With wisdom you open gateways, with understanding you alter times. Vary the seasons and assign the stars to their watches in the sky. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshek v'choshek mipnei or. Creator of day and night, who rolls light away from darkness and darkness from light, you cause day to pass and bring about night. Distinguishing between day and night, source of all forces is your name. O living and ever-enduring God, reign over us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you offer your people. Oh, technology is fast. Everlasting love you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws forever and your commandments forever. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night, we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai our God, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. And now, the prayer that doesn't ask, but a prayer that states who we are and what our creed is. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Baruch Shem, Kivod Malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom, forever and ever. And you shall love v'ahavta. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart. And you shall teach them diligently to your children. And you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you rise up, and when you lie down. And you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes. And you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, that you shall remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy, holy unto your God. And speaking of miracles, as Adonai parted the Red Sea, Miriam and the women went through that miracle, singing, Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, no ra tehilot, osef eleh. Your children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried. Adonai will reign forever and ever. And thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praise are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. All right, just going to pause for a minute. Say hi, Zipporah. Good to see you. Sue, Ron, very good. Brady, I don't see you, but welcome. And let's see who's in our chat. We got Barbara in our chat. So good evening, Barbara. All right, let's head back to our, there's a beautiful cat. I assume we are having cats at our services. And there's Brady. Okay, very good. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'acha bidenu malkeinu l'chaim l'frosh aleinu sukkot shalom mecha. Adonai, eternal one, our God, cause us to lie down in peace. Raise us up in life, our sovereign. Shelter over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with all your good counsel. Save us for your name's sake. Shield us and remove from our path all hostility, disease, war, famine, and sorrow. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a protecting and saving power. Truly a sovereign power, gracious and compassionate are you. God, our going and our coming in life, in peace and now for all eternity. Spread us over your shelter of peace. Guard us, protect us. Guard us over flying objects hovering over our country. Help us from disease and violence. Take care for us over hostile weather, and just help us, Adonai, to follow your path. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, eternal one, who spread your shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Yitgada v'yitgada shemei rabba b'yamadi v'achirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecha beit Yisrael bagala uv'zman kariv v'yimru amen Yehi shmei rabba mevorach li'olam maya yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yiroman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalab shmei kudusha b'riachu leilam v'chabechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram b'yalma v'yimeru amen. And now our standing prayer, which please only stand if you have the ability the body allows. We are reminding Adonai that promises were made to our ancestors, and therefore, please, Adonai, keep those promises to us also. We're all mishpacha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Yimotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'imaot Umevi Gula Livnei V'Nehem Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. And Adonai is the only superhero, the one who gives life to the living, all that we need. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayeh hakol atarav lahoshia mechakeh chaim bechesed mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim somech noflim v'rofeh cholim umatir asurim umkayem emunato Lishenei afar michamocha bal givuro umido melech memi umkayem umatzmiach Yeshua v'nemanata lahayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. All right, let's see. Anybody else on Restream? Reba's about to join us. So as soon as Reba gets her audio on, I want to welcome Reba back to our services. Pashar Mishpatim. This week in Pashat Mishpatim, we are taught about the Book of the Covenant, covering laws from criminal and civil matters such as theft and assault, kidnapping and murder, to matters of social discourse such as treatment of women, treatment of slaves, treatment of the needy and stranger, and how to treat the land. As we look at laws, we are seeing an anthropological look at history. My former rabbi once told me that laws were necessary to cease actions that were taking place. We do not need a law to stop murder if there are no murders. If no one stole items, then theft would not be a crime. Mishpatim not only tells us what was happening in their society, but gave us laws to stop this behavior and to make people accountable. Looking back through this mirror, we see society was filled with lawlessness and anarchy. But by implementing these laws, people know they had to be responsible for their actions. People went from not knowing what was wrong to learning that their actions were wrong, and there were consequences. Mishpatim, according to the Torah, a women's commentary, states, referring to different types of females who warrant legal consideration, such as the Hebrew slave, the daughter sold to slavery, the mother verbally or physically abused, the female slave beaten by her master. Society now had to be accountable for these women. In Exodus 21, 10 through 11, if he marries another wife, a second wife, he must not withhold from these one, food, clothing, or her conjugal right. In the women's commentary, it states these are the three basic entitlements of every married woman. The commentary quotes Nahum Sarna that if this interpretation is correct, it would reflect a singular recognition in the laws of the ancient Near East that a wife is legally entitled to sexual gratification. And it further states, if he fails her in these three ways, she is entitled to go free. Her husband is accountable to take care of her, make her happy, and there's a consequence if he does not. Exodus 21:24 states, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, laws written for people to live by. In Genesis 22:11, when a person gives to another an ass, an oxen, or any other animal to guard, if the animal was stolen from the guardian, restitution must be made. This mirror to the past is remnant of the Wild West, or watching Yellowstone. No laws, people living however they choose without regard of consequence, and that covenant laws were needed for society to go forward. Today, where does this begin? With us, at home. When my son was in high school many years ago, he borrowed an iPod from someone and it was stolen under his watch. When he related the story, I replied that he owes his friend the money from the stolen item. Of course, I heard the words, "It's not my fault." I replied in my most maternal voice, "It may not be your fault, but it's your responsibility, since you were the person who borrowed it. When you borrow something, it's your responsibility to return it or the monetary equivalent. It was stolen, but when you borrow something, you take full responsibility and accountability." The response I received was grumble, 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 but he did settle with a monetary equivalent. Have we as a society forgotten these lessons? Today we hear the all too familiar refrain, "I am not a crook." If you're as old as me, you know what that refers to. Or "read my lips, no new taxes." I did not inhale. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. If you like your insurance, you can keep your insurance. And what does it matter? We even have a politician who no longer takes accountability for his actions, but did it again, the sexting New York councilman. Of course, we can relate this all to politics today. As we are teaching our children that we do not need to be answerable, are we teaching our children we don't need to be answerable for our actions? Social media has become the vehicle to hide behind while teasing, bullying, and threatening existence without consequence. Media in general has become the example of the norm in society. No commitment in relations, no accountability to others, generations that have mixed signals. Are politicians the stars that are emulated? Sports heroes and entertainment figures are sorry examples of no accountability or consequences to the younger people. Are we going backwards? We need to make sure the lessons of Mishpatim begin at home. All right, let me just check the chat. Oh, thank you for the comments. Very nice. Okay, so let's continue on. And let's take a few minutes to listen to the prayers in our hearts and in our minds. O say shalom b'mrumav, O yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heaven, let peace descend on us and all Israel, and all together, let us say amen. And now we're going to begin with our prayer for healing. So please type in the names of all those who need our healing thoughts and prayers. And I'm going to begin with Sid and Joyce. My father just came out of the hospital today, so therefore I am sending prayers of thanks, not just healing, but prayers of thanks. Katie and Luna, Chris, Rob and Elizabeth's daughter, Ronnie Seal's daughter, Diane, Rabbi Allison's daughter, Miriam Bat Shulamit, Carrie, daughter of Bonnie, Lance, Leslie. And if you have any names, I'd like to add it to our list. Okay, let's go with all those suffering physically and emotionally around the world. Yvette, Carrie, friends Kat, all who suffer PTSD, Grandma Franny and Willow, Dorothy, Marlene, Jean, John, Kedem, who has brain cancer. Prayer for the people who are scattering flyers with anti-Semitic hate speech in the area of our synagogue. I heard about that, Sue. I'm praying that they have a change of heart and transform. Ian, my dad, who became paralyzed. All seem shalomers who need refuah shlema. And to answer Ron, who knows my father, we thought it was COVID. 3 COVID tests later, it wasn't COVID. They were all negative, no flu. Probably just a virus with a possibility of slight pneumonia. But there was something on his x-ray that they didn't like, but they also saw it on an x-ray from 8 years ago. So it turned out to be on the lung calcification, get this, from pneumonia 75 years ago. The scars calcified. So he was feeling great and yelling, why can't I go home? And he says, I'm 95. And I said, because you're 95, we're checking up on you and making sure you're fine. And so for 3 days, he had peace and quiet and flirted with all the nurses. And if you think I'm kidding, when the nurses wheeled him to the car today, the 2 nurses, he said, Happy Valentine's Day, don't get pregnant. That's right, Ron? That's my dad. Okay, he's a schmoozer from the get-go. And of course, my mom puts up with that, but that's okay. She was just happy to have him home. So that's the story of my family. Okay, let's go back to our screen. Mi shebeirach avotenu michol habracha limotenu. Sorry, I'm off key. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu michol habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baron Ben Ellen, Sarah Bat Colleen, Bill Ben Annie, Gina Bat Juana, Jenny Bat Nina, and Marlene Bat Chaya. And let me just add, so they think he had a slight case of pneumonia or a virus during the week because he was huffing and puffing. But by the time he got into the hospital, he was walking and telling jokes instead of huffing and puffing. So that might have come from the virus. But at 95, we just check everything out. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kikoyeh haratzot, v'lo samanu kimishpachot hadama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kichol hamanam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlochim, hakadosh, Baruch Hu. I pray that the people spreading anti-Semitic, to me. Yes, I got you, Ron. V'ne'eman v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. We recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at the season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. The memories of all of them are with us. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we praise Adonai and pray for the coming of Adonai's kingdom. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, v'yalmad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalav zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yeheshmei Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Olmei Amaya. Yit Barach V'yishtabach V'yipar V'yiramam V'yinaseh. V'yitadar V'yitalei V'yitalal. Shemei D'Kudusha B'rechu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbchata v'nechamata. Damiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehesh lama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh Shalom B'Rumav. Hu Yaseh Shalom. Aleinu v'Yakol Yisrael. V'Yimru Amen. And may all those who are in mourning be comforted by the one who comforts all. Okay, so I thank you. Let me go back to our chat. It's a very small chat today, but everybody is wonderful. Welcome here and fabulous. For any of those who are wondering, I'm seeing the screen a lot better now that I've had cataract surgery. And sometimes I use the reading glasses, and sometimes I could read without reading glasses. So Neskadal Hayapo, there was a great miracle here. So thank you all for being here. We have our assortment of JSLI events, our programs. If you're interested, check us up online. Be well, everybody. Stay safe. I hope it's not too warm, and I hope it's not too cold by you. I hope it's just right. Everybody enjoy, be happy, be healthy.
Toda Rabba.
Take care all. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Be well.